What's up? We are Friendship.
We're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I was hanging out with some friends and I mentioned like, oh, I'm so excited I'm going to be with Friendship. And then one of them was like, oh my God, Friendship. I love the song Knives. So
cool.
that was cool for me because everybody always talks about Capsize.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But let's jump in and talk about Knives and that production with Matoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it with originally our buddy Nick Ruth. So we kind of had this. It was about our dads. I guess we originally wrote it about our fathers, and it was kind of them talking to us from what I remember, kind of perspective. But yeah, when we finished, we basically had it all done, and we were getting ready to release it, and then we were like, yeah, let's see if anybody wants to do a version of it. And we had a couple other DJs do some versions of it that didn't quite hit the mark, and then yeah, Matoma came in and just spiced it up, kind of just enough, and kept kind of the original integrity of the song. So it felt good. I don't know. We went with it.
He heard it and he called us and was like, you have to give this to me. I've listened to it like 40, 50 times, 60 times. Like, you have to let me have this. And yes, and we liked that he was passionate about it and that he cared and wasn't just looking for another song to throw out into the world. And, and yeah, like you said, I think out of the few versions that were done, I went like there was a couple high-profile DJs that took the song on, and they all kind of
Just didn't hit it.
yeah, they didn't keep what we thought the song should be, and Matoma did a pretty good job of just adding a little bit of glitter on there.
That's cool. And kind of since you mentioned that right now, like they didn't hit what you guys wanted out of it. What is the idea of Friendship? Like what do you guys want your audience or new fans to get out of this project?
Oh man, that's a big loaded question. I don't know. I hope a lot of happiness and a lot of a lot of pleasure. I mean, although it can be tough at times, I think at the end of the day we enjoy making music, and I want people to experience that and kind of make it what they want to make it too. We kind of write some super vague lyrics and at times poetic stuff, and kind of let it be open to interpretation. And I don't know. I hope people just kind of feel a part of it, and I hope it kind of feels like an inclusive, big, warm hug at times. Right. And I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Well, I remember early on we were really, I don't know if inspired is the word or whatever, but we thought it was a really cool concept. This artist, Woodkid, said that he wanted all of his fans and listeners to feel like superheroes when they heard his music.
Yeah.
And I think, the point of that is empowering people to kind of be whatever they want in a positive way. And that's kind of we don't think about that stuff when we're making it, but at the end of the day, we're like, man, that's cool if that does that for you, and we're hopeful, I guess.
Right. And I know you guys you guys did your own separate thing before Friendship happened. So when you guys actually got together for Friendship, like what was that chemistry like that first time you guys went into the studio, that first time you guys sat down to write, or that first time you guys went on tour? Like, what was that like? And, what was it about it that really made you guys say like, hey, we got to pursue this like together?
Well, originally we didn't actually try to make music together. It was kind of just became buddies. We actually met working together in our part-time jobs at the time, and then eventually we got tired of kind of hitting the town, and we're like, all right, let's try to make a song. And the first one was, I don't know, it was kind of good, I think, and it got reactions from industry friends and other friends. And
you're talking about kids, right?
Those kids, yeah, probably. We did his research. Nice. And it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of felt right. And I think I was coming out of a duo, and I was a little hesitant to get back into one again. And he was coming off a solo project, so he was kind of like, let's do it. Come on, let's go. A little more antsy to go than I was. But I don't know, eventually we just tried to make another one. It kept kind of being pretty good. So,
was it a natural process, like going into the studio to write or create this music?
I think that was part of why. Like you said, he was a little hesitant to join a duo again, but I think we both wanted to expand what we were doing musically. Right. So like he wasn't singing at the time, and he grew up singing, and so he wanted to sing more, and I wanted to produce more, and I wanted to do that, but I wasn't great at it, and he had the skill set that I could learn from and kind of grow in the ways that I wanted to, and hopefully vice versa.
Yeah, of course.
And so I think that was part of what made sense of this, is like okay, cool, I'm gonna start producing more and having more of an idea of what that's like, and he's gonna start top lining and singing and whatever where he hadn't been. And um, that
But we
first
didn't
song,
do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
the first song we kind of fell into our comfort zones and like our natural roles, and I top lined it, he produced it,
Yeah.
and um, then the very next one, he kind of had a chip on his shoulder on the next one, and was like, "No, I'm writing this one." I'm like, and which was good because it set us into like a more equal parts probably um, role, I guess.
So moving forward to the next track, I would assume this was, it probably wasn't Capsized. It was probably something before, right?
That one he was just talking about?
Yeah. Was it Capsized or was it like
Morrison.
Okay, Morrison.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't really remember. I don't actually remember that one that well. That was like a personal story for me, and I think we kind of went back and forth on the writing of it. I was like, no, this is how it's got to be. Like, no, this is my story, you know.
Became a little aggressive. more
Well, it's something, you know, is like, and you know, that was a long time ago. We've obviously learned to, I think, hopefully write differently now. But no, he kind of gave me the space to kind of just write it and let it happen. And I definitely appreciated that. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize. I think it goes back to 2014, 2015.
13, but
Yeah.
yeah, kind of in that.
Yeah.
It was like late 2013, and then we started kind of like, okay, we should start kind of putting out songs, and
Yeah, we digged around for a while. It was like we were still figuring out what the hell
You were still in that college vibe from all the college tours, right?
So yeah, exactly.
and I think we met each other at such an interesting point in our careers. I guess nothing was working, especially for me. I can speak personally on that, and nothing was working. So I was just kind of like, I don't know. When nothing's working, it's a good, it's a reset to be like, okay, what do I want, and go back to that and just chase that. And so, there was kind of a open canvas or a clear canvas to like work with, and and so I don't know. Yeah, we were like, do we want to write for other people? Do we want to be artists? Do we want to all this stuff? And the first thing that we decided was our move was to try and get a publishing deal, which we ended up doing, and that's what got rid of our day jobs. And even then, we were still kind of writing for other people, and then I think obviously the Capsize thing came along, and I'm doing the very like Cliff Note version of our story here, but like Capsize came along, and it was like, oh, like we're supposed to be artists. Let's just be artists, and like let's not worry about. And obviously, we're writing a bunch right now, and if things aren't going to make sense for us, we'll give them to other people or whatever if they'll take them. But yeah.
So
I think it was before Capsize that we were like, oh, we wanted to be artists, but
Yeah.
that probably made sense of the whole thing in
We were
terms
also
of.
broke, so we were chasing money there too, and we were like, how do we get money? Do you want our song? If you'll take our song, we'll take. Yeah, like so that was kind of. We wanted to be artists. We did always want to be artists, but Capsize, I guess, allowed us to do it. Maybe is a better way to put it.
Sure,
Right.
Yeah.
So did that publishing deal kind of help you pave your way towards Columbia Records, or did Columbia Records come from a completely different direction for the signing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes, in a way, kind of. I mean, so our publisher, well, actually, I guess it was who was the first people in? Lawyers were in first, and then our publisher, Katie, and that team at Prescription Songs were the, pretty much the beginning start to all this, I think. And they kind of did everything. They were managing us. They were booking shows for us early on. They were doing stuff that
It's like,
publishers just don't do.
That's a mega publisher, yeah.
So that whole team, her and Thomas and all the people over there were just like just doing everything for us and helping us get connected and taking meetings. And we did A&R meetings a long time ago, and they would kind of like bring us into meetings as writers, and then they would throw the artist stuff. We would play our artist stuff too, and that consistent.
Full load.
Yeah.
I think we had like 35 meetings with different A&Rs from labels. Like we were getting in the doors and stuff like that, and that's what was kind of so funny for us, and kind of I don't know, gave us a little chip maybe on our shoulder of when Capsize happened, because we put it out on our own, and then literally we had offers from every label, and we're kind of like, all right, you've all heard this song way before we released it. but now
We hadn't met Columbia though.
we had
I didn't remember meeting Columbia. Oh, we did meet Columbia.
twice during the events.
But they, but yeah, yeah, that was kind of the beginning of the road, and then we put it out independently, like Brett said, and put out actually Carpet first, and then did okay in the blog world, did a little PR with it, and then Capsize kind of, where were we? We were in Santa Barbara or something, playing a little acoustic show, and he comes on, he's like, "We got a new Music Friday," or whatever, and it was like,
We had a couple drinks. We played a show that night, and we like, all right, good night. We were in a hotel, and I had my room, he had his, and
I like that you were specific with the rooms.
yeah,
Like,
on the same bed, and
we're about to go share rooms or share a room in 2 days, so.
yeah. And so I like came out and I was like, hey, like kind of making noise and stuff, and like, we're on New Music Friday, and it was like the biggest success story. I thought, like, I was like, oh, we've made it. Let's retire. And I think partly we were trying so hard to like break down the Spotify door from any angle we knew, and we're like, all right, cool, we're gonna do this on our own. We don't need a label, all this, and like, how do we get into Spotify? And we probably had met like 4 or 5 people at Spotify, and like nothing worked. Like it wasn't
It's closed off, yeah.
none of them like got us in any further than that like front office, I guess. And and so with Carpet, it's like nothing worked. Spotify wasn't kind of a thing, and then randomly they found. So we released Capsize on SoundCloud in like the blog world 2 days prior to Friday, and then in those 2 days, our savior Mike.
Well, I went to Hype Machine. It was like a couple days before. Charted at Hype Machine.
Yeah, so
And then.
the same.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
Our dude Mike Begain over there found it on Hype Machine, and within those 2 days, and then threw it on New Music Friday, and then that week went by, and we're like, okay, cool, it was on New Music Friday, it came and went, it's done, all right, whatever. And he sent us an email. We woke up to an email that next Friday, and he said, hey, your song did really well on New Music Friday. It reacted really well, and so I'm going to add it to the biggest playlist in the world that we have. And so we're like, what? And then like a couple of days later, it hit 1 million plays, and I don't know, we just
kind of went from there, really. Yeah, it just kind of exploded, and then that led to all the offers he was talking about.
Right.
And Columbia was the best one to us. So.
Now, with the success of that song, did that add pressure to like the follow-up singles or the follow-up the debut EP Truce? Did that add any pressure to you guys, like as you guys were creating this?
That stuff was already done pretty much. We were kind of already done with that body of work, so we were ready to go with that package, and now we're in the pressure stage currently as we write right now. But I don't know. You try to not think about that, and it's unavoidable. You have to think about it. Like, will our next song get a 300 whatever? How many millions and millions of streams? I don't know. Hopefully, Right. But you just try to block it out of your head, I think, and
I think
make
too,
good music. Yeah.
And that early, like you said, it was all done. So that was part of like what we were saying to the label. Like, we have songs that we want to put out. We have to put these out. So if you want to pick us up for Capsize, then you're taking these songs and you're releasing them kind of ASAP as well. And and because originally our plan was to just put out, we had like the EP, and we were going to put it out song by song over the course of like 2 months or whatever, and like every 3 weeks or so put out a new one. And then Capsize started going, and we were like, oh man, maybe we should hold up this whole release plan and see where this goes and what comes of it. And so with that, we had those songs to take to a label, and yeah, I mean, Columbia was certainly the most like, what do you guys want to do? Like, this is your ship, you drive it, you be the captains, and they're like, we're here to help. And
that's so awesome, especially being a new artist. Like,
I don't think that's not a super common thing. It seems like I haven't heard of it, but
and a year later, we certainly still feel that way. Like, we feel like we're in charge. We can, obviously they help guide if we don't know where we're going or something like that, but for the most part, it's we ask and they say yes, and or
Well, no,
what
the
if we did
support,
this?
yeah,
You know,
it's- yeah.
Right.
It's
they're
just
very.
supportive for sure.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Now, jumping into that Truce EP that you guys created, did you guys produce it on your own? Did you guys have someone outside come in and help you guys out on it? What was that creative process like?
Yeah, kind of. We had we did most of it ourselves. We produced Capsize ourselves, Carpet.
Just one we had.
Well, we did like a co-production with the Norwegian dudes for Run Wild, and then Axel and Philip, and then we had our good buddy Nick Ruth who did Knives. We co-did it with him for Thousand Nights. So, but yeah, for the most part it was us, and then a couple small people. I mean, we don't like to open it up too much. We like to keep it kind of I don't know, closed off and try to not dilute what you're doing a little.
Not so much a friendship.
Yeah, we don't want to be too many friends. No, you just, I think you.
Ironic name
Yeah.
more than anything.
Well, you start to involve too many people, and it starts to kind of change the sound.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
we just wanted to keep it friendship, whatever that is at the time.
I think, like, being that we came a little bit, like, we spent a year or so in the session world, the LA session grind, kind of like taking sessions weekly, and I think you see how cookie cutter it can become, and how this is how you make a song, and you hit the chorus at 45 seconds, and then you go to maybe a half post, and the arrangements all are pretty much the same, and you kind of start saying the same things over and over in those sessions, and so we're kind of like, all right, to have a better, more unique, not better necessarily, but have a more unique sound and something that feels better to us, we should probably keep it a little closed off. And you think of, like, or at least we think, like, these great bands that we love, from the Police to Genesis to I don't know, Fleetwood Mac. Like, they're writing the songs on their own, and that's how they're getting their sound. And
moving forward, with what you guys are working on right now, I'm assuming it's a debut album. Can we expect that same kind of process where it's just the two of you working on it, or now that Columbia Records is involved, like, you guys are actually looking at producers to work with?
I think we're always kind of looking at. I mean, I think we both have a wish list, dream list of producers that we want to work with someday. But
none of them are trendy.
none of them. Yeah, what did you say? None of them are trendy.
Yeah,
No,
they're all like classic albums from back in the day, and
a lot of them are still doing stuff. But yeah, they're old school for sure. It's pretty much just us right now. I mean, I think things are shaping up to have maybe one or two other people on some stuff. But currently it's a lot of us. Again, we'll probably pull in some people at the end and close buddies and writers and stuff.
Right.
But honestly, that's probably a group of 2 to 4 people max.
Yeah.
And then, I'm trying to think. I think that's about it. 2 to 4 probably by the end of it.
yeah. There may be some other artists and things that
Yeah,
we
maybe
do
5,
collaborations with and stuff. There's some people we're kind of, I don't know, we're very closed off to the idea of collaborations for a while, because Capsize went, and then it's like, who's Friendship, and I don't know, it can get muddy, and I think we're a little bit over that now, and I don't know, kind of open to just work with the people that we really admire and are fans of.
I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I keep touching your thigh there.
It's all good.
You're welcome, I keep.
Welcome, friend.
Welcome to the studio with Friendship. So with those collaborations that you did, Emily Warren and Matoma, I mean, what was that like for you guys, especially someone like Emily Warren, who's, other EDM artists have used her, or like other artists have used her on collaborations, but what was that like? Was that like a natural process for you guys as well? Like,
yeah, that one was pretty natural for us. She's on the same publishing company as us, and before we work with people, we try to just hang out with them and go grab a drink or grab some dinner, and I think we grabbed dinner.
you didn't do that today.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
10 a.m., man. I brought you
Yeah.
juice. There you go. So yeah, we hung out with her, and it was a great vibe, and we did a session with her, and we didn't really get too much the first time, and but we were all hanging out and enjoying each other, and then we ended up going to New York right as she was graduating college, and we wrote Capsize that same weekend or week or whatever it was, and it just was easy. She's super easy to work with. We say it a lot in interviews, but she's not precious about anything. She's down to go down a lane or a route that might not end up being productive or might not end up enhancing the song, and I don't know. She's a special one for sure. So I don't know. I found it incredibly easy. I'm sure you did too. But
Yeah, and so typically how these songs kind of come about is if they start in a session, then we'll spend a day or two with everybody, and then we take them back and rewrite them a million times on our own, and we sit with them forever. And I think she was, especially Capsize, she was kind of down to be with us in a lot of that process, and she wasn't here every time we rewrote it, and she probably missed out on at least 40 of the edits, but still throughout kind of was patient with us to finish it and get it right and have it be very honest for each of us. And we appreciate her for that, especially that she is able to kind of see how we want it and just help kind of carve it in that way versus I think a lot of these writers will come in and be like, I need a cut, and they'll come in and like just kind of take over a session, and then you're like, well, none of that's honest to me. And she's definitely down to find the honest thing.
Yeah, that's cool that you guys are like keeping it as true as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what good music is.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, if you're kind of just making up crap, it's pretty obvious, I think. And you can go turn on Spotify now. I mean, you'll hear stuff and you're like, you mean that? You mean what you're saying there? And but whatever. I've written crap and written stuff that I'm not fully behind too. So I can't. I've never. Full authenticity all the time.
Never not.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's hard though. You know when it's contrived though. You can tell. You're like, no way. But anyway.
Well, let's talk about the latest single, 1,000 Nights. Tell us about that track in general. Like, what is this track really about?
Start it off.
It's about when you get sand in your shoe and it's all the day long. It's in there. No, I don't know. It's for 1,000 nights you have sand in your shoe. No, it's this kind of idea that I don't know. We're coming of age certainly, and we're able to look back on years prior and see what we've done right and wrong and what made sense to us and not. And so we're kind of taking that perspective and fast forwarding it to the ends of our careers and saying, it started, he kind of took the track. We kind of started, I think, working on the track or something together. I don't or no. It was
Nick, our buddy Nick Ruth had just a real bare bones piano kind of thing, and then I don't know, I had some wine one night, and then I romanced the shit out of myself, and turned on the mic, and just kind of had just a word vomit kind of basic idea of looking back at the end of my career, pretending I was like 60, and looking back and being like, what was it all for, kind of thing, and yeah, real depressing shit.
Why are you regretting this at such a young age?
But yeah, half that. I'm like already planning my retirement. But then it developed into
I think I think we always try and do that. Of like, okay, if we're looking back on this moment, like how would we live it and how would we be in it? And I think that for both of us, the people around us matter the most, and no success or failure is significant without being able to share it with loved ones. And so that really is just what the whole idea is that kind of people matter around you, and that this journey is that much more valuable because they are here.
And then 1,000 nights seemed like a really epic long period of time that we calculated out to be 2 years and
7 years. Yeah, it's like
really dramatic.
That's a really long career.
Sounds good. It sounds big. Yeah.
Now, one question I had about the song was, I could have sworn you say 4,000 nights.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. Yeah.
So you're saying 1,000 nights?
For 1,000 nights, for 1,000.
For 1,000. Okay. Because I was like, is the title wrong? Like they just couldn't change it?
Yeah. No, we just kind of mumbled it or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
4,000. I mean, that'd be closer to like 10 years or a little more than 12 years, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it should be that.
Yeah. Switch it. The new version on the debut album.
40,000 nights. 400,000 nights. Yeah.
Now, another thing I like about you guys is I love the way that your vocals, coincide with each other.
Oh, cool.
Did that take some work? for you guys to actually get to sing along? You know, you guys go back and forth when you guys are performing. Like, I love that. How did that really come about?
I mean, I think we just kind of both. Well, we both want to sing on it, and so we both tried
We're
to.
always doing this to each other, like trying to shoulder the other one out.
I don't know. I think I think it's kind of nice to have two voices. It can be a total pain in the ass in terms of mixing and putting things together and stuff. And you're like, but I think it's actually kind of turned into this. I don't know. It probably helps identify us, A, and then B, there will be some things we write or melodies we do where I just don't sound good on the melody, or he just doesn't sound good on the melody. So the other one can have a stab at it and sing it. And I think sometimes it ends up being better. Like, I can think of things where I've come up with an idea and then he sings it way better. And we're working on one. I haven't told him yet, but I think he should sing this part that I'm currently singing and then maybe switch. But I don't know. I think it makes it hopefully a better song at the end of the day. But it can be tedious, kind of figuring out who fits where and stuff. And
it allows two mediocre singers to compete with the best of them.
Two average. It's kind of true.
No, but I never sang with people my whole life. I always just was a bedroom singer or whatever, and so.
I was gonna say I was always a better singer.
Just a closet singer. Yeah, I have always been the best singer. And so that was new. He grew up kind of singing in choirs and doing that thing, so he was a little more familiar with harmony and all that stuff. And so it was a learning curve, but I definitely feel better about it now, and it's been fun, if nothing else, too, to kind of find Frenship's voice among the two of ours. And yeah, I think early on we were like, oh, that can kind of be the sound, is like our voices together. Being one. Yeah.
So you guys are now working on the debut album. I'm assuming you guys are focused on that, no touring, no other shows anytime soon?
For the most part, we're just doing kind of fly dates and festivals and some college shows here and there. But yeah, we owe some people some music, and we got to get some music done, and we owe ourselves some music too. So we are for the most part just writing right now, and we're looking at some touring in the fall, kind of late summer, fall. So, but yeah, you can find us at a variety of festivals this summer if you want to come, and Outside Lands and Lala and a couple others. So yeah, it'll be a good summer for us. Yeah.